Hey, hey, hey! Howdy, all. We are here with Savannah Venger, the Ex-Mojave Express Courier 6. And I thought that I would share with you something that Savannah, Willow, Raoul, and King discovered in their travels east, away from New Vegas, when they decided to kind of travel around and have a little more adventure and not be quite so tied down to New Vegas. They may return someday, but Mr. House is still appreciative and still thinks very highly of Savannah. She's not thrilled, of some of the things that happened, but whatever. He still holds her in very high regard. So anyway, as they were traveling east, they came upon a military base that was seemed to be surprisingly untouched. Some of it was scavenged, but where they were able to get into a very difficult location, lots of locks, lots of hacking and things like that, so things that people just couldn't actually easily access. Savannah, Willow, and Raoul were, and they fixed it up.
Vicious, but you can
now, would you guys like to see what they found?
Got a lot of Molotov.
I know I would, because
it doesn't take smarts to set your ass on
I'm pretty
fire.
proud of it myself. So, here we go. Behold, the EM-250 Urban Terrain Master. Amazing, isn't it? Now, everything here is, for the most part, as it was when they found it. The dings and dents, no, that all came from their travels and people attacking them, and a couple of Brotherhood trying to take it over and stuff like that. Yeah, that didn't work out well for the Brotherhood. This thing is able to master most any terrain. A lot of high rocky things, obviously not, but it is able to go underwater, not oceans or deep lakes, but it basically traverses rivers, wide rivers, any river it can traverse. And this thing can pressurize, and it is completely waterproof. It is radiation proof. It's everything proof. Bulletproof. Yes, you can see some glass in the windows, but it's also reinforced bulletproof glass. These are heavily armored. Minorly repaired, but heavily armored. It's basically the armor that came with the vehicle. Everything on here is armored, including the turret up front and the missile turret. And you head over here, and there's missile turret and rear machine gun turret as well. And oh yes, and this is the suspension, so this thing can handle X, Y, and Z axis while maintaining stability on the inside. So there's not a lot of rocking, but if there is something too extreme, yeah, the inside might shuffle a little bit. But overall, this has got suspension, three-dimensional suspension, and right now it's handling the road going up, while back here it's flatter. And so there's windows on both sides here, and there's a reason for that, and you might be able to tell from looking in, but you get a better look once we're inside. So head on inside. Oh, and this is a hydraulically assisted ramp. Once you're on the inside, there's a button you can press, and it will extend this from its little carriage housing on the inside, It'll extend it outwards and then just lower it. And as it lowers these little steps. Now these steps, they do fold and bend. So when this raises up to go horizontal and enter the housing, these stairs here fold up a little bit and bend so that it can make room for this to go inside. It doesn't fold up entirely. It bends up a bit in order to make room for this to slide into its housing. Hello, King. Look at King. Isn't King great? Look at you. Oh, good King. Ooh, you want to play fetch? You want to play fetch? I can't play fetch right now. Mommy's busy. So, yeah, let us take a look on the inside. Alrighty, and then just walk up. And this place is, I love this thing. This thing is so cool. So here we've got the living quarters. This is Savannah Venger's bed. This is Willow's bed. But you may notice, you know, they've got their own belongings.
I have given up trying to sell alternative medicine products to doctors. They think I'm a scam artist. Idiots.
They are idiots. Let me turn off the light real quick. As you can see, these lights here, the ones above the bed, they are part of the EM-250, as everything here is of the EM-250, except for, you know, some of the decorations. You know, the lamp is part of the desk, which is part of the chair. Those are all part of this vehicle. Same with the storage, the bed, all of this, the curtains. This is all part of the vehicle. So these lights were already here. The loudspeaker, that is so that anybody up front can inform people back here to get off their asses and get to battle stations, apparently, once we get up there. So Heather has got a number of books here. Books for all fun reading, including, you know, how to do bartering, the best forms of bartering, how to be charming with your barterers. But this one, whoops, right here, this one right here, how to please the one you love. Okay, Savannah found that one for her. Not that she needed any help, but there were a few cool little articles in there that Savannah found that she enjoyed. So, Heather's got some spare cash over there, hairbrush, some oil, perfume. What is this? Oh, sorry, it's her perfume. But when they first met, well, that looks comfy. Willow wanted to learn how to defend herself in case she was without her guns, her rifle or her pistol. So she wanted to learn how to fight. So she asked Savannah here to help her. So Savannah found a number of Boxing Times magazines, issues, and pugilism books. And Willow ate them up. And so she loves reading them. So she found a little plushie and gave Savannah a copy. Well, not a copy, you know, she gave her one so that whenever they're laying in bed, if they're sleeping separately, they're still sleeping together. And there's some little private time toys. But she's got some stuff for repairing. Oh, yes. And she has a little statue of Eddie to remind her of Eddie from the Mojave. Eddie was fully repaired and then just kind of went on his way to Navarro. But some repair things, and she is working on a microfusion bundle, great grenade, and she loves the Super Yum. But they are really difficult to find. So she covets these. When she finds them, ooh, nobody else can have them, just her. She loves Sunset Sarsaparilla. That's her favorite. But since she found the Super Yum recently, ooh, she's been going crazy for them. She also, this bookshelf was not standard. She installed this bookshelf and has some of her magazines on it. And this spear she got after she, let me turn that off. She got this spear, well, because she used it to kill a centurion. And she was pretty damn proud of herself for killing the centurion with that spear, so she kept it in her travels. So let's move on. Oh yes, and again, every one of these living quarters has a table and a chair that can slide under, and it's a rotating chair, and they all come with a lamp, and they can use it however they see fit. And one of the things that is so awesome about these beds is they are climate controlled. You know, they can store their private stuff in here, or their personal belongings, bathroom supplies, toothpaste, clothing, towels, clean towels, things like that. But right here, you see these vents. These vents are part of the climate control system for these beds. So no matter what the temperature is, if it's hot, these beds will keep you cool. If it's cool or cold, these beds will keep you warm. These beds are awesome. Wonderful beds, no matter what environment this vehicle is in, you are comfortable. Because it's not good having freezing cold or meltingly hot soldiers when you've got something as massively powerful as the EM-250. The military, according to the manuals and blueprints that were found in the military base, the research and development military base, is they decided to make this. This is basically a land submarine, which would make that, well, an urban terrain master. So they wanted to give them the best stuff to keep them, you know, because they're going to be cramped up in these things. It's like a submarine. When you're in a cramped surroundings, you try to get the best or really good supplies, food supplies, music, videos, because it's cramped. So they get a lot of good food, a lot of fresh food. They have to eat the fresh food quickly, but they do get a lot of good stuff to keep morale up when they're in such cramped surroundings. So that was the pre-war military's idea with the EM-250 Urban Terrain Master here. Give them as best stuff as they could. So, you know, they've got nice lighting. And okay, this shower curtain came after after they discovered the vehicle, because the stock one was messed up. It was moldy. It was falling apart. It was just a mess. So they found this Jangles one and installed this. But, you know, stainless steel toilet, stainless steel shower. The shower area does look kind of ratty, but honestly, after 200 years of no use in a military base, they did the best that they could cleaning it up with Abraxo and industrial Abraxo. And honestly, this is 1,000 times better than, okay, it's 100 times better than what they actually found. But plus, they also replaced a lot of the parts. But right up there is the exhaust fan to suck out the moist air and the steam. But they can have nice showers, and oftentimes they basically use this towel to cover over the toilet paper when they take a shower, so that it doesn't get damp. And disinfectant for after they use the toilet, because as you see, there is no sink here, but they are able to wash their hands. Over here is their, well, medical station, and it's pretty well kitted out. They've got, you know, they've got first aid, and they've got medicinal drugs, Rad-X, they've got Radaway, and other, you know, buff out stimulants to keep a body going if it's in shock, but also a means of testing blood, checking blood. There's more storage down there. This stuff, actually, the stuff on the counter goes here, and over here is more medicine, surgical supplies, gauze, and everything else needed for surgery. And up here is a lot of medical texts, spare toilet paper, of course, and these little things that stick out, these are handles for the doors. These handles, you basically grab them, you pull towards you, and it hits a hinge, which then folds down and closes these areas off. So when you are driving along, if you happen to go a little too much on the left or right, you know, and you kind of shake things up, these things aren't going to fall out. But they are parked. They have a nice place to live right now, so they just have these doors open for ease of convenience. And over here, they've got a washer and dryer. Yeah, they're pretty beat up, but they work great. They wash the clothes and get them nice and dry. And they've got plenty of cleaning supplies. And over here, we have got, again,
I think it's tea time.
Stock lights, standard lights. And, oh, tea time, yes. Well, we have to remember that for in there. They got some water pipes, coolant pipes, hydraulic fluid pipes going in this area. This was more for the grunts. The grunts kind of had to deal with the pipes and the expanding and contracting sounds of the pipes. Raul honestly likes it. Raul likes hearing the sounds. It helps relax him at night, and well, he feels better. He's a tinkerer, so he likes listening to those sounds. It just relaxes him. There's a duck decoy that he carved recently. He's pretty proud of it. Painted it as best he could with. It's hard to find paint sometimes. It's got some blueprints and some more, greeblies and doodads and bebobs for his tinkering. He's got his smoking accoutrement, a toolbox so that he can do some repairs and tinkering on his little desk here. But right now he really loves chess. So he's been enjoying some games of chess, and he's been keeping score with himself, because usually he plays by himself, but he's actually been teaching Willow how to play chess, and she's been having a thrill of a time doing that. She's beaten him a few times, although she and Savannah aren't sure if he's letting her or if she's actually learning pretty well. In all honesty, it's a mixture of both. It's according to Raul, he kind of let her win a few times at the beginning just so that she would enjoy learning, so he would have someone to play with. But then some of these last times that she's won, he hasn't let her win. She's done that all by herself. So we're all pretty happy. And over here, well, there's not a lot of decoration or utility on this bench because, well, this is King's bed. This is where King sleeps at night. So, he's got a little bit of his food there. Normally his food's down there, but they've got this out because he's going to get some of that a little later. He's got some leather to chew on, a little squeaky toy. Another, baseball glove, more leather to chew on. He hates Jangles, rips the shit out of this guy, which is kind of nice because Jangles is almost everywhere, so they kind of keep a little stash of Jangles so that King can just rip the fuck out of that creepy doll. And yes, there is a skull that they found. Yeah. King found a skull. So, yeah, King chews on that, and he loves his climate-controlled bed too. But yeah, this is more for where the grunts would sleep, so to speak. And then back here would be the commander, and then his second in command. You know, they don't have things that they need to listen to at night. So head up front here, and we're here in the mess hall, honestly, because it's pretty much as wide as a hallway. But yeah, these things, Raul sanded them down, not scrubbed them down, sanded them down, repainted them, cleaned them up, fixed them up, and basically restored them to new. These are standard stock in the EM-250. The military had these things here, but they had the olive drab color, so he decided Raul likes the mint color, so he cleaned everything up and repainted it and made it all mint colored. But oh yes, and also a lot of this stuff there were 4 EM-250s in the R&D military base, and basically they scavenged everything they could from 3 of the other
If you stay sharp,
250s, so that they could get this one running perfectly and have repair parts in storage under these. There's storage and access panels under these floor panels. These many of these open up so that you can access the engine and cooling system and the water storage system and more water storage. And let's see, there's some access panels up here so that you can access more storage and more machinery and wiring and coolant and ammunition and just everything. This thing is fully self-contained, but they grabbed everything that they could to ensure that this EM-250 could be repaired, maintained, and useful for quite some time. So the chances of someone else having another EM-250 is not impossible. It's not impossible. There may be other military bases that have them, but they haven't found any yet. So, but they're doing the best that they can. And they're proud of their little terrain master here. So this is the refrigeration system to keep the fridge working. And Raul restored the hot plate and this toaster as well. So they are able to have nice, hot, yummy toast with Brahmin milk butter. And they just recently finished baking a loaf inside. This is an older model of oven, but you know, you just grab that handle, pull forward, boom, you got yourself an oven. And yeah. So that bread is finished. Oh yes, I forgot. There is some more machinery over here that is dealing with things that are important, as well as, don't know what this is. Raul does. He's tried to explain it. Savannah doesn't understand it. Colander. Eating area. Nice and comfortable. They cleaned these up as best they could. They're still a little worn and stuff like that, but they're still cleaned up pretty well. Oh yes, and got themselves some nice salt and pepper shakers, as well as a syrup dispenser for when they've got pancakes or French toast. So yeah, but they only have one of those, so they share it between 2 tables. And first aid, right up here is where they keep the plates and bowls, the glasses and mugs, and silverware and everything else, and food, and then larger things of food that does not need to be refrigerated. And then we've got here a map of the Commonwealth with Shady Sands marked on the map, New Vegas, New Canaan. They're not certain exactly of those, but they have received radio transmissions, and they've apparently Cascadia, I believe is what they said. Illinois, and yeah, so important markings on this particular map. As you can see, people have kind of been stepping on it, so they found it on the ground and decided to kind of mark some of the most important places as they traveled across country. They drove through the upper part of Texas and found out that Texas is under some major battles. There's a lot of different people trying to vie for control of Texas right now. Well, at least when they drove through there about a year ago. And of course, there's a trash can. And, you know, it's like, well, hey, if everything else over here is clean, why the hell isn't this? You know how hard it is to keep a trash can clean? Shut up. And here is the brains of the urban terrain master. Some of these are different colors because they had to scavenge parts from elsewhere in their travels, other computer systems, and things like that within the research and development base.
Oh, I wonder what that is.
But a lot of this is still original. And they have heard from a few military bases. They've heard of something here that calls itself Atlantis. Out here in the... Raul will fix that later. Yeah, Raul, he's good. He'll fix that later. Yeah. Yeah. He'll fix that later. I mean, everything is bulletproof. It's just, he's got to clean that up, and it's just a pain. But yeah, there's armor and everything around here. And right up here is another loudspeaker, so that that one's mostly for the driver. Just punch in the code and open the door. And here's where the driver sits. And the chair is hydraulically powered, so when you want to exit the driving bay, it slides over and rotates so that you can slide off the chair, and then you climb up these stairs to climb into the chair, and you press a button on the side of the chair. It pulls you in while rotating you so that you can face forward and handle all of the controls, which, you know, controls the weapon system, moving forward, and getting in touch with anybody in the back. And then over here are the targeting systems for the weapons. And this is not a door. This is just this is all armored and armored glass. Armored glass. Nobody's getting in here. And this is just basically when you know, plow into the water and stuff like that. It provides a hard point for breaking the water to both sides of the vehicle. So yeah, lights off. They need to get some new fluorescent bulbs, but that's on their upcoming shopping trip. They don't drive this throughout the Commonwealth entirely. They kind of have parked it here, and they like it here. This is kind of a little settlement for them. And these lights back here can turn off, as can these. These can be used as sleeping lights or as reading lights, or you can just leave them all on. So it's dark outside, so let's just sleep and wait for daytime. And I realized that I should have kind of... Okay. We'll go there.
Best sleep ever. We cuddled the whole time.
Hey, I love cuddling with you, Willow. So, yes, I am very happy with this build. I had a lot of fun. I also had a lot of frustration trying to get everything to look right, to work right, and to be able to walk through and just be able to see things and make everything look like it made sense. But I had a lot of fun. I've been wanting to build this this vehicle for a long time. And this thing took me, oh geez, I don't know entirely. I'm gonna guess about 75 hours. I might be over, because there were a lot of times where I started it, I was doing things, got things going, and then went, oh shit, I don't like that. And then I'd scrap out half of what I just built and then go and rebuild it again and better. And so I'm 50 to 75 hours, plus just trying to get these things angled right and fit properly and go where they're supposed to and all of that. So yeah, I spent a lot of hours building this, but I really like it. I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of myself. I do, I admit, I've got a little bit of, maybe I didn't do well enough, but that's just negative Nikki. Honestly, I think I did a really great job, and I'm really proud of what I did. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I did, what I built here. I really enjoy it. I like how it turned out. It's got a lot of defenses, and
if you don't use it, you can always trade it.
It's comfy.
Everybody needs adhesive.
It's comfy. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to show this part. I still have a little bit of time. It's not hugely important, but it's a fun little thing that I did, that I added. Yeah, before we started recording, Willow was making a cup of tea for Savannah. And Savannah kind of likes the, let's see, there we go. Yes, this is the English breakfast, and then that's the Earl Grey. The Earl Grey is Willow's favorite, and Savannah prefers the English breakfast over the Earl Grey. And so, yeah, they were waiting for the water to boil so that Willow could make her a cup of tea. And the coffee is mostly for Raoul. Raoul is mostly the one who drinks the coffee. But yeah, a little bowl of sugar cubes and teacup ready to go. Yeah. I like this thing. I really do like this. Had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun. So thank you for staying for that little extra. And yeah, thank you all for joining me in the tour of the EM-250 Urban Terrain Master. Have a great one, everyone. Be excellent to each other and to yourself. Party on. Bye.